You want to be an architect?
Maybe a truck driver?
Maybe a realtor?
Something in the medical field?
Huh. Listen to Career Paths Unedited from that.
Thursdays.
What's your name again?
Right, you guys all set?
Ready? I'm ready when you are, sir. Miyagi, for some reason, crosses my mind on that one. Hey, welcome to Career Paths, brought to you by InfoNet. I'm your host, Vic Boudreau. Today we're talking to Lonnie Boudreau. Wait a minute. This is going on a theme here. I just thought of that. You are with, what do you do for a living, sir? What's your career?
So,
what do you do?
All right, so I work for probably one of the greatest small businesses in town. It's called
in Spokane, just because we're just
in Spokane, and
yeah.
where we're at, Spokane, Washington, that is. We're a local moving company. We're female owned.
Does that make a difference?
It actually does.
Okay.
And you know, as we go along, we'll probably get into more of that.
Okay.
I think it makes a difference anyway.
Sure. Well, if you see examples, we'll hit them.
Great. So what I do there, I always tell other people that I wear a lot of different hats, but they all say the same thing. You drive the plow truck, I drive the move truck. I'm also an estimator, so I'm learning how to do commercial estimating. I'm actually doing some networking over in North Idaho.
And commercial moving is just moving a company or moving a store? Or?
So offices.
Okay.
Lawyers' offices,
okay.
Dental offices.
Oh, okay. See, I wasn't 100%, that's why I asked.
Yeah.
Hey, so give us a little background, family, friends, dogs, uncles.
So I was born and raised here in Spokane. I got, a crazy family. Lots of people. Love them to death. I'm not married currently. Have no kids. Plenty of nephews and nieces.
Yeah.
But none of my own.
Yeah, that happens.
I do have a girlfriend. Her name's Amber.
Shout out to Amber.
She's the greatest.
First, you're going to say that.
Totally
That's not what you said. Oh, never.
Absolutely.
So you're doing the movie thing. I don't think that's okay. You were going to school. You've done schooling, college. What have you done college-wise, and what were the classes you were taking? Because does that coincide with what? Even though I know you, I don't know exactly. I don't think I know how that.
So it's kind of interesting. I enrolled over at the community college here, Spokane Falls.
Okay.
And I did a 2-year course in business management over there. Had a great time with it. I decided to do business because it's so marketable. I wasn't sure exactly what I wanted to do.
Different ways to go with it.
Right, and then management. Well, any company you go for has management, so I figured.
Is it good or bad? That's the question.
Right? Is the management good or not? So I really, I really enjoyed it over there. I had like a 3.9 when I graduated.
Aren't you going to show off?
Which is interesting because if you know anything about me or personally, throughout school I was not the smartest. But
once again, my personal experience and knowing people, grade school, high school is different sometimes than when you're doing something you truly want to do and learn about.
I think you're right. I think you hit the nail on the head.
Young and dumb and not knowing what you want. A lot of kids don't. A lot of adults don't know what they want to do. So, yeah, I understand that, and that's like monotonous, but you can learn stuff. But
yeah.
So I'm just backing you up. Once again, different perspective in life, and as you go through life, maybe being the older guy, you'll learn different things about what's going on. And sure, I could have done that differently, but I'm here now to do what I got to do. So, anyway. So you had a 3.9.
So I also had a job at the school. So I worked in admissions, and they had a job fair. So I was kind of setting up for the job fair and kind of answering questions and making sure everybody got to their tables correctly and everything like that. And I was looking for another job because that's what we do. And as I was doing that, I was going around to table to table to table, and I ran into this company called Move Her. And it's a pink logo. So I asked him, smart guy over here, what do you guys do? And it's a moving company, local moving company. And I thought, great, it'd be a good summer job, right? Mm-hmm. So I went and did the interview over there and started working as a mover.
Okay.
You know, just a regular crew member.
You're the guy that was in the truck or at the place moving hands.
So I wasn't driving the truck.
Right.
Just,
So there's
just running boxes, you know, just kind of brute force.
Okay.
After a little while, I kind of asked to do, you know, to be more involved with things because I kind of seen the leads and how they did things, and I, you know, just kind of wanted to take part.
Does that not make you so you have to move as much stuff because you're the lead?
Oh
guy?
no, the lead's the hardest working person on the crew. Absolutely.
Okay.
So
I don't want to be the lead then.
So I moved on to being a lead, and it was a great transition. Got my DOT card. I spent a few years in the military, so I've driven, you know, larger vehicles.
Right.
And I didn't need to get any other licenses, so I figured, you know, that was great. And they liked me so much there, they gave me more stuff to do. So I took on a weekend management role, and I kind of oversaw operations over the weekends. So if you know, one of the jobs was going slow, or you know, they needed materials, I, you know, kind of facilitate that from the office.
So partially it's you're proving what you're doing while they give you the chance to do what you do.
Yeah.
Make sense?
Yeah, and two words clicked there. You see, I was going for business management. It was my degree, and then here comes a management opportunity. So, you know, I jumped
That's
on it.
crazy.
Yeah. And anyway, I went back to school.
Right.
You know, because summer was over. I continued to work at Mover over the weekends.
Right.
And just enjoyed the heck out of it, really. And as we went along, I finished school, and something that really touched me is the owner actually showed up to my graduation.
Wow.
You know,
I didn't show up to your graduation.
and my own parents didn't show up to my graduation, to be honest with you. So it meant something to me.
Yeah, that's sorry, I missed. Go ahead, I missed lots of stuff. Anyway,
Anyways, so
I was doing a podcast. That's all I got.
and one of the things that really gets me about the company is that when you hear about a moving company, you think, great, these are people that, you know, are going to break my stuff and then argue with me about it. And you don't get that feel at Mover, not from anybody that works there, not from the owner, not from the brand newest guy.
And that's from the owner down. Just get you. That's how we do
They
things.
care.
Nice.
And I think that's one of the most important things about business is if you're in business and you're working for other people, you should care. You know,
well, if you don't have customers long.
Absolutely. So,
yeah.
So that was one of the things that first, you know, caught my attention. And I don't want to lift heavy things all my life, so I was kind of looking for other ways to expand and, you know, stay with the company that I enjoy.
Right.
So I learned. Sabrina, the owner, actually paid for a course for me to learn commercial moving. It's through the American Moving Storage Association, I believe it. And so I took that course, had a knack for it. I really enjoy the business side of it.
Right.
So I like schmoozing, if you will. You know, networking is kind of what my thing is, really.
Sales and networking.
Sales and networking. So I figured, well, if I don't have to use my body all the time, and I can use my brain a little bit.
Okay, let's not push. Okay.
Just a little bit.
Okay.
You know, just a little bit.
So enough
Enough to say hi and hello. And
so you don't have to move every minute of the day.
Right. So,
okay.
So I started learning new things, and one of the most important things to me about my career is that I get to learn things. You know, I don't like to get bored. You know, so
for you, doing something and then working on moving and not moving forward, learning stuff works for you. Some people don't do work that way. You know that, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I'm not completely out of the trucks either.
No, I get that.
I
also.
do several things.
Right, and keeps you. It gives you variety within your job.
Absolutely,
so
and I get to learn new skills. I actually learned how to. We got a plow this year, and now we have a snow removal service, and I got to do.
There you go.
I spearheaded that.
Something new and different.
So
and
now I know how to drive a plow truck, which is pretty cool. You know, it's another thing for the resume.
There's this other guy over here.
I've heard stories.
Yes, not very good either. But you guys make it too easy sometimes. So we already. It's funny. We cover this stuff, and you're just too good. Is it how and where? And all right, screw that one. Things you started to actually get into school, which progressed to this at this point. What'd you do? Did you? Because you weren't looking for besides business management, you were going past that, but you wanted to learn for that.
So I got in a situation where I don't come from a lot of money. I don't have a lot of money.
I'm aware of that.
School costs a lot of money.
It can.
That's
yes.
kind of how it is.
It is. Yes.
So I took the opportunity that I had to do some schooling where I didn't have to go into debt.
Right.
And it was kind of important to me.
Sure.
So then I had another opportunity where I had saved up some money, and I thought, boy, I could spend all this money on a little bit more schooling, a little bit more of the management, and I was kind of leaning towards that, and then I just clicked at work, and it was like
At the company.
I started learning more, and it was like
Right.
I felt like, would I learn more behind a desk, or would I learn more
School. Yes.
hands-on, where people are depending on me to come up with ideas and innovate and, make things happen as it were.
Make it happen. Huh. I like that. There we go. Any obstacles that stood in your way when you got into the school besides, just the daily life thing? Or
So, like I told you before, I probably my biggest obstacle with getting into school was the fact that I didn't believe I could do it. I was 100% convinced that I would go and I'd, give it the old, try, the old college try, right? But I thought I was going to fail. And I think that was the biggest thing, the self-efficacy behind that.
a lot of just not having the security in yourself, and that's a lot of people in general. And some people don't understand that. Sometimes people are afraid. And I'm giving input to knowledge. Being the older guy, once again, I'm here to. I actually want to help people, give them a little bit of tidbit of information. If I can help somebody, some way, somehow. Everybody's insecure and not always sure what they're doing, trying to do what they want to do, and you make mistakes along the way, and that's part of the process. You're not going to die from it. If you make a mistake, it's not a bad thing. You're not going to succeed in life with everything you do, that's for sure. So I understand that. Just, that now, that you did it. You've done very well progressing along the way. Hasn't been easy. You're making mistakes here. There's nothing, obviously. You haven't killed anybody.
I haven't killed anybody yet.
And you haven't too many car accidents, but when you went into business management in college, what were the hardest part, you would say, the worst part, best part, the funnest part in school?
So, the hardest part was kind of just being there every day. I thought it was really important too, because you go to school and you pay for it, right? So it's like you have to make that commitment to go every day.
Yeah, you think, right?
Even if it's boring.
Yes.
Go every day. Another thing I did was I sat in the front row. I engaged the instructor.
Wow.
I watched all these videos on how to be more successful at it. Took other courses to be more successful at going to school. And it really worked out. So
were you learning? Obviously, you learned stuff with these things you were doing to add to your education, just even if it wasn't required education.
Yeah, like time management.
Oh wow.
Time management is a huge thing.
Yes.
When school doesn't pay a ton, So I had one, and then I had two jobs on top of going to school full time. So it's every day. You don't get a day off. So that's
life.
It's being able to stick with it and catch that pace for a little
through
while.
the frustration or challenge that go along with it.
Absolutely. So,
I'm sorry. I just am aware of, and I like hearing this.
Okay.
Go ahead. I'm just so happy. What challenges when you started working for? You're still in college because you started doing it during the summer. What were the challenges? Any challenges? Main, as I talked before, somebody lack of sleep when they were at school, or then they start working, and obviously you have a good boss, and the situation is open to you doing better, which hopefully does better for them. And some companies I am aware that aren't always that way, and it is. So, any challenges?
Yeah, so it's been really flexible. Working at Move Her, and as far as challenges go, keeping myself in shape. It's as simple as waking up every morning and stretching.
You work out at all, young man?
Every day.
Okay.
On top of.
That's what I was going to ask. On top of the.
I got a little regimen I do at home. Okay. 3-4 times a week.
Did you learn that online?
I did not learn that online.
How did you learn that?
I kind of just figured it out. I lay on the couch. I open the bag of chips. A lot of work going on.
See, you learned it from me. Whatever. About the job that you love, something in particular you love, something you hate. Like I think I know what the hate part would. I'm guessing, but
So it's not all fun and games. But
no, jobs are not always fun and games. Just
some of the things I don't like are I don't like to make mistakes, and a job like this, and like as you were saying, in life you always make mistakes,
right.
and it's
just a smaller one, hopefully along the way.
you know, it's little ones, you know, and they eat at you. But I think the most like rewarding on the rewarding side is our company has we have a contract with the state here in Spokane, and one of the things we do is we go and we move people, and this is not a glorified thing. It's not a nice or a clean environment when you go a lot of the times because these people can't move themselves. A lot of time they have limited mobility.
Where are you moving them from? For the state for what?
For the state to typically it's somebody that's found themselves homeless or in a bad situation, and the state comes in and pays for the move.
Okay,
and
I'm just
the relocation. And
you're just clarifying that type of situation, customer that, and what was going on, why it's a bad situation. Besides,
right. So for me, it's anytime I show up to a house to move somebody and I see that they can't move, and they're just always so happy, and they look at you and they're like, wow, man, they're so thankful, and I think that's the most rewarding part of my job.
You're helping change their life.
Absolutely.
And you weren't even trying to do it, but you're doing it in what you're doing. So you just stuff in the office and you're out in the field doing. You do multiple things in the field because you're not just moving all the time, right?
Yeah, not just moving all the time. So we do packing too.
Okay, there's something else I'm going for, but keep going. Aren't you out trying to find leads with commercial?
Okay, so
thank you.
So this is a new thing actually. I like I was saying before, my bosses they like me to not be bored, which is good for me.
Yes.
Because they're always giving me more stuff to do, and I like that.
Yeah.
And our company is always growing and changing and trying to keep up with the times.
Right.
So recently, about last year, I was moving more into the networking part of it, and I had joined a couple networking groups and got to speak about the company and trade leads and things like that in the community, which I really enjoyed, probably more than anything I've ever done, which is crazy that for just coming out of college, it's like everything just clicked. So as that progressed, I finally decided that's kind of what I want to do, is be an estimator, but I want to be more than an estimator.
Right.
I want to create business. So right now what we're doing is we're rebuilding our commercial division. So within the company we have the snow removal service, and this is kind of small to large. We have a maid service. It's called the Maids and Move Her.
Okay, yeah, I've heard of that.
And we have our moving service, and then we're now rebuilding our commercial division. So we bought this new training. It's training by a guy named Ed Katz.
You've already done some of this training.
I've done about 6 hours of the online training, and I think it's brilliant. I think it's gonna change a lot of the way that we operate.
And you're learning new stuff that keeps you stimulated and move forward.
Yeah, and it makes everything easier on our guys.
There you go. I'm just talking about you right now because you want that new and exciting or different learning.
Oh, absolutely. So now here's the challenge for me though. So if you want to talk about challenges, so I've been given an opportunity over in North Idaho.
Yes.
And I've spent about 5 minutes in North Idaho my entire life, so I haven't been over there very much at all.
Is it scary for you?
Not really.
Okay.
I think it's beautiful over there. I've been spending.
Oh, come on, beautiful! I've never heard that.
I've been spending some time over in Coeur d'Alene, and I think it's just beautiful. The sun was shining over there. I actually just joined our company actually just joined the Chamber of Commerce over there, and I'm the representative. So I'll be spearheading the whole North Idaho thing. Now the challenge comes with I need to get work over there. I need to get office work because I want to be a commercial estimator, but we already have one for Spokane and in this area.
Right. Okay.
So as long as I can get enough work over there to keep myself busy, then I'll be successful. Then I'll be full-time commercial estimator
over in that Coeur d'Alene.
And make it or break it time.
Right.
Absolutely.
There's motivation, right?
You got it.
What misconceptions would would the general public have about what you do, or what you thought it was when you started, or something within you what you started, and what you actually do?
Okay.
You said you just lived and moved.
So here's where we were talking about who I work for.
Right.
I work for Sabrina Jones. She's the owner of the company, and it's a moving company, and I think it's probably the only moving company I've ever heard of that's owned by a woman. And I think that's a big deal, because what comes with it is the personality. Okay. It's a touch. You know, she did some research to find out who books moves. Like, is it the guy that's in charge of that typically?
I wouldn't think so.
Because it's not.
Right.
You know, almost up to 70% of moves are booked by women. And you know, she thought what a great idea to corner that market, and it's worked out amazingly.
How long has she been in business?
10 years.
Oh. And obviously it's been growing the time you've been there, so.
Yeah, absolutely. In fact, we are gathering some numbers right now, so next time you guys have me on, I'll have some numbers for you. And we'll spit those out.
We'll see if people want you back.
If you like,
they probably won't want me back.
Yeah,
it happens.
You never know.
Do you enjoy? Obviously, you do. We've already kind of touched on that, but you're making money, surviving, living.
So, I don't talk about this a lot, but
you don't have to give me details. I don't want details as in numbers.
Right.
Obviously, we all typically want to make more, and you know, I could always use more, but.
I'm happy right now.
There you go.
I'm not, you know, my bills are paid.
I've got to. Do you eat every day?
I eat every day.
Okay.
You know, one of my goals has been since I was a child is to own a house.
And what's working on that?
So actually next week I'll know if I can do it this year or not. So I'm actually.
You were working on that.
I've got some. It's looking pretty good actually. So
awesome.
Kind of in the market.
Like the American dream.
Yeah.
Job at home. Your girlfriend still puts up with you.
Yeah, there you go. Right.
What advice would you give to anybody that might actually be looking to get into the moving, estimating, whatever that comes along, business management, that you would give somebody advice?
So
younger?
I think a lot of the times people think about movers, and they get a bad name for being so jaded. You know, I think that if you want to be successful, and I mean not only just in estimating or care about your customer, care about the person that you're working for,
right?
And you should do that. I mean, all the time.
You'd think so.
And I think that a lot of people, they always think like, what's in it for me? You know, what's in it for me? It's have some empathy and think about other people. I think that will go a long way.
I've touched on that, where you make somebody's life different, even a small bit, in a positive. It's enlightening. It's even for me, it makes me there's stuff I'll talk about later, but yeah, that's awesome. So you actually like changing people's lives.
Yeah,
in a positive,
in a positive way.
It's not well, sometimes it's a negative.
I'm an incredibly positive person. So.
You've dealt with adversity in the past, so I'll ask you this question, not going into details, but you've dealt with adversity in the past when you're growing up, etc. I don't need details, and now you see yourself. You've changed your life, not considering what you had to deal with, but however you did it. How do you feel?
I feel great, honestly. I mean, every day I think about it.
You might be buying a house in a year.
I might be buying a house in a year.
Think about that.
Absolutely.
Would you have done that? Do you think that was possible back when you were doing what happened?
I wouldn't even think working a regular job would be possible.
And people liked you, huh?
Yeah, right.
Oh, I'm Vic Boudreau, your host for, where are we? Career Paths. My guest, Lonnie Boudreau, who works for?
Move Her, LLC.
Nice. Thanks for showing up. We'll talk to you later.
Thank you.
Go!
You can edit all that.